Take a look at these two images I have on the screen here. One is from 1962, the birth of the most iconic spy in cinema history. The other, well, it's from 2025, proof that we're living in the dumbest timeline. Can you spot the difference? Here's a little hint. One features James Bond looking dangerous with his signature Walther PPK. The other features James Bond looking like he's about to ask you if you've tried the shrimp cocktail at the buffet. Amazon, they spent $8.45 billion on the Bond franchise. And their first major move was to digitally remove every gun from Bond's hand. I wish I were joking. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Critical Nerd. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because apparently we're living in a world where this kind of insanity is the new normal. And you're gonna want to stay informed. So October 5th was James Bond Day, a day to celebrate one of cinema's most iconic characters, the suave, sophisticated British secret agent with a license to kill. You know, the guy who's been shooting bad guys and saving the world for over 60 years. But Amazon, well, they had a different idea about how to celebrate. They decided the best way to honor 007 was to digitally remove every single gun from James Bond's hands across all the promotional posters on Prime Video. Yeah, you heard that right. James Bond, you know, the guy whose entire character revolves around having a license to kill. Well, he can't be shown holding a gun anymore. Because nothing says celebrate an iconic action franchise quite like erasing the fundamental elements that make that franchise what it is. This is going to be good, folks. And before we dive in, let me know in the comments right now. Are you worried about what Amazon's going to do to Bond? Or do you think I'm overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments section down below because I genuinely want to know if I'm the crazy one here. All right, let's look at what Amazon actually did here because the execution is almost as offensive as the concept itself. They took classic James Bond poster art, iconic imagery that's been used for decades, and either cropped out the guns or straight up photoshopped them out of existence. And the results? Well, absolutely hilarious levels of incompetence. Let's start with Dr. No, the very first Bond film. The original poster has Sean Connery in that iconic pose. Arms casually crossed, Walther PPK in hand, looking dangerous and cool, classic Bond. Well, the Amazon version? Connery's still got his arms folded, but now there's no gun. So he's just standing there looking sassy, like he's about to ask if you've seen his car keys. The entire sense of danger, it's gone. He looks like he's posing for a J. Crew catalog. But wait, it gets better. A View to a Kill with Roger Moore, and I'm not making this up, they apparently used AI to elongate his arms so the gun would be out of the frame. His arms look like Inspector Gadget, like he's reaching for something on a shelf that's way too high and it's genuinely unsettling. Then there's GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan is standing there in his unbuttoned shirt looking contemplative, with his hand in a weird fist where the gun used to be. Multiple people on Twitter pointed out that this is a new pose. It looks like Connery and Bronson are giving viewers the British wanker gesture. That's right, Amazon accidentally turned James Bond into a guy flipping you off. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is the kind of quality work you get when you let corporate executives and marketing departments run wild without any creative oversight. And listen, if you think I'm exaggerating, go check Prime Video yourself. Well, you can't now because they changed them. But trust me, the internet has receipts. I'll put links to all the comparison images in the description below. Go look at them and tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. Oh, if you're enjoying this descent into madness, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm people actually care about corporate stupidity, and trust me, we need all the help we can get fighting this nonsense. Now, let's talk about why this is fundamentally stupid on every conceivable level. First of all, this is my favorite part. The 007 logo they're using on all these posters still has the gun. I mean, That iconic visual that's been part of the franchise since 1962. Yeah, that's still there, but God forbid Bond actually hold that gun in a promotional image. So to be clear here, the logo can have a gun. The movies themselves are filled with guns. Bond shoots dozens of people in these films. But the marketing materials, no. We can't show him holding a gun. That might, it might upset someone. Promote violence. I don't even know what they're thinking here. It's like if Marvel removed Spider-Man's webs from movie posters, or if they took the lightsabers out of Star Wars promotional art. You're removing the most iconic element of the character and replacing it with nothing. Awkward, empty hands and weird poses. And here's the thing. Amazon owns Prime Video. You know what else is on Prime Video? Jack Ryan, The Boys, Reacher. Shows that are loaded with guns and violence. In fact, two of Amazon's recent biggest hits, Head of State and The Accountant 2, feature guns prominently in their promotional materials. So, this isn't about some blanket policy against showing firearms. This is specifically about sanitizing James Bond, and why would they do that? Well, because someone at Amazon clearly doesn't understand what James Bond is. Let me know in the comments, what's the most iconic thing about James Bond to you? Is it the gun, the cars, the martinis, the suits? I'm curious what you all think defines 007, because clearly Amazon has a different answer than the rest of us. Now let's talk about what this really means, because it's bigger than just some bad Photoshop work. Amazon paid $8.45 billion to acquire MGM, and with it, the rights to James Bond. Oh yeah, that's billion with a B, by the way. That's, I could end world hunger, but instead I bought a movie franchise money. And this is one of their first major moves, not creating exciting new content, not celebrating what makes Bond special, but sanitizing the character to appeal to who exactly? Who's going to watch a James Bond movie but be offended by seeing him holding a gun on a poster? This smacks of the same corporate overcorrection we've seen destroy franchises over and over again. Studios get a hold of beloved properties and immediately start fixing things that weren't broken, trying to appeal to imaginary audiences while alienating the actual fans who made these properties valuable in the first place. Remember that Live and Let Die joke video saying, "What if we remove all instances of people being left to die?" Well, congratulations, Amazon. You've turned satire into reality. And let's be honest here about things. What fans are worried about, really? It's not really about the posters, though they do look ridiculous. It's about what this signals for the future of the franchise under Amazon stewardship. If they're willing to remove guns from promotional materials for 60-year-old movies, what are they going to do with the new Bond films they're making? We're going to get a Bond who uses a taser instead of a PPK? Is it going to defeat villains with stern conversations about their feelings? Will the new Q branch scene feature gadgets like a non-lethal stunner disguised as a banana? This reeks of the same mentality that gave us the Snow White problem, where studios take classic properties and try to fix perceived outdated elements, but in the process strip away everything that made the character iconic in the first place. You end up with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with no dwarves, James Bond with no guns. Drop a comment if you've seen this pattern with other franchises. What other beloved properties have been modernized into oblivion? I want to hear your horror stories, because, misery loves company. Now here's where it gets interesting. After the internet collectively lost its mind over this, and we're talking thousands of tweets and articles from everyone from Kotaku to the Daily Mail, Amazon quietly backtracked. Within about 24 hours, they pulled down the gunless posters and replaced them with different images. Crisis averted, right? Well, not exactly. Because the replacement images, they're just crop stills from the movies where, surprise, surprise, the guns are conveniently out of frame. including a Skyfall poster where they still digitally remove Craig's gun from the shot. So they don't actually change their position. They just got sneakier about it. It's like they learned nothing except, okay, maybe we don't make it so obvious that we're censoring Bond. But here's a silver lining, and I'm trying to be a little optimistic here. At least we know what fan backlash could still move the needle. When enough people push back, these corporations will course correct, even if it's just to save face. The fact that Amazon responded this quickly shows they're at least monitoring public sentiment, which means our voices do matter. And that's why I need you, yes, you watching this video right now, to stay engaged. Share this video, talk about this stuff, because when we stay silent, we get more of this corporate sanitation. When we speak up, things can actually change. Now look, I get it. Gun violence, it's a serious issue. But James Bond is a 60-plus-year-old fictional character who has always been defined by his license to kill and his signature Walther PPK. That's not glorifying violence. It's part of the fantasy of the super spy genre. Nobody watches Bond movies for realistic depictions of international espionage. If you're uncomfortable with guns in entertainment media, that's fine. Don't watch action movies. But don't buy the rights to James Bond for $8 billion and then act surprised that he shoots people. The good news is that Denis Villeneuve is directing the next Bond film, and he's a genuinely talented filmmaker. Dune and Blade Runner 2049 prove he can handle big franchises with respect, so there is some hope. But Amazon, yeah, you, Amazon, if you're listening, and I know you are, because you clearly read Twitter, here's some free advice. James Bond needs to be suave, dangerous, charming, and yes, armed. He drinks martinis, drives fast cars, gets the girl, and shoots the bad guys. That's the formula that's worked for 6 decades and 25 films. Stop trying to fix what isn't broken. Stop trying to sanitize beloved characters to appeal to people who weren't going to watch anyway. And for the love of God, stop using AI to elongate Roger Moore's arms. The fans know what they want. Listen to them, not your marketing department spreadsheet analysis of problematic content. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Now I want to hear from you. Question 1. First question. Do you think Amazon's going to mess up the Bond franchise, or am I being too harsh? Number 2. What's your favorite Bond film of all time? Let's show Amazon what real fans actually care about. And third, should I do a deep dive on other franchises that have been modernized into mediocrity? Let me know, because I've got a list. Leave your answers in the comments below, and hey, if you made it this far, you're clearly part of the solution, not the problem, so do me a favor. Hit that like button if you're tired of corporations sanitizing our entertainment. Subscribe if you want more rants about Hollywood's war on beloved franchises. Share this video with fellow Bond fans who need to know what's happening. And ring that notification bell so you don't miss when I inevitably have to make a follow-up video about whatever Amazon does next. Also, check out the community tab. Yes, I do post there every once in a while. Where I post updates about stuff between videos. I've been really bad at that. I'm going to try to get better at it, I promise. We've got a great community of people who actually care about preserving what makes these characters great. Oh, and one more thing. To everyone on Amazon who's inevitably watching this video because you clearly monitor social media, I'm available for consulting. My rate is $1 billion. That's a bargain compared to what you paid for Bond. And I'll even throw in a free tip. Roger Moore's arms should never be longer than his legs. You're welcome. This is the Critical Nerd reminding you some things are better left uncensored. Peace out. And you're my favorite franchise to survive the streaming wars.